Oh, it's Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader Alpha. This game is not out. This is a closed alpha. I was contacted by some very, very important people's minions, the people that work for the very important people, and they said, "Hey, we heard your top script, and the Emperor sent you a package recently." That part never happened, and they said, "Would you like to get in on this?" And I was like, "Yeah, I got time." So here we are. Here we are. For those who don't know, this game is, I just hit the wrong button on my lamp. This game is made by Owlcat. That is the company that made the Pathfinder Kingmaker and Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous games, which won many awards over the last 4 years. I finished both of those games and was a big fan. So yeah, we are gonna jump into this. This is an alpha, chat, this is an alpha. It might be a little buggy, but this is essentially a game like Pathfinder in gameplay, like a D20 style Dungeons & Dragons stuff, a lot of customization, you know, story, talking to people, things like that, but in the Warhammer 40k universe. So, you know, we could probably just shoot anybody. All right, so let's jump into this. Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader Alpha. And we're already getting interrupted. New game. Welcome to the new game. And once again, this is an alpha. This is hot off the showroom floor. Might have some glitches and stuff, and we are going to be patient little viewers here. Male Rogue Trader or female. I'll just leave it on male. Choose your preferred difficulty level. Normal or core. All right, I'm assuming later on there's going to be a description of what that means. I'm just going to leave it on normal right now because that is intimidating me. I don't know what that does. So I'll just say normal. Rogue traders are unique servants of the God Emperor, vested with a sacred mission to bring the light of humanity beyond the edges of the Imperium. Suffering from success. My load screens are too fast. Sector, Coronis Expanse. Location, Von Valancia's flagship. Material, Dossier 17 KB on candidate for succession. Data compiled by Logis Servitor No C84. Start of Dossier. Dossier 17 KB, compiled and processed on the order of the most gracious Lord Captain Theodora von Valancius. Candidate satisfies the consanguinity criteria, bears kinship to the Lord Captain in the 7th degree from a dynastic offshoot in the Scaris sector. Current location of progenitors not specified. Gender, male. Occupation before requisition. Isn't it dossier? I'm gonna dossier your face. You don't just sit back down, sysadmin. All right, occupation before requisition. Let's see. I was a void ship captain. Oh wait, what is this? Navy officers have great weapon skill, fellowship, and are proficient in persuasion. Officer prefectus commissar in the Astra Militarum. Commissars have great weapon skill, willpower, and proficient in coercion. Leader of an unspecified criminal organization. Data expunged due to reputational consideration. Great ballistic skill, agility, and proficient in persuasion and awareness. Okay, so I don't know what those do yet. Coercion sounds fun. Weapon skill, willpower, and coercion. Let's say I was a commissar in the Astra Militarum. Planet of birth and circumstances of early life. Oh boy, Imperial World Vulrus 6, markedly loyalist upbringing, developed leadership and diplomatic skills, in-depth knowledge of Imperial history and culture. Rogue Trader from Imperial World has a greater fellowship and willpower, skilled in lore and persuasion. Okay, so one thing I would like to see them add into this game at some point is to tell me what exactly does willpower do? Like, in some games, willpower is like resistance to mental attacks. In other games, it's like willpower is spell damage if you're a wizard. I don't know what it is in this game. Feudal World Fort Kamgarat. Primitive cultural environment, notable physical and athletic attributes, heightened awareness of surroundings. That's strength, toughness, perception, athletics, and awareness, and becomes a fighter, career focused on melee combat. becomes a leader, a career focused on commanding and assisting allies. Forge World Tamokriok 5, Adeptus Mechanicus planet. Ooh, robots. Strong intellectual and endurance capabilities, profound knowledge of sacred tech and Medicae skills. Becomes an adept, career focused on skills and single target damage. Greater intelligence, toughness, tech use, Medicae, and logic. Fortress World Koritsura Major, militaristic planet on the edge of the Imperium. Basic combat training with a Medicae course and additional instruction and demolition. Greater agility, perception, willpower, skilled in demolition, Medicae awareness, becomes a soldier, career focused on shooting and positioning. All right, so my immediate, the things that immediately draw me in is the Adeptus Mechanicus world and the world that gives you bonuses to leadership. Let's try Adeptus Mechanicus Forge World. So, strong intellectual and endurance capabilities, profound knowledge of sacred tech and Medicae skills. Praise the machine god. So, greater intelligence and toughness, skilled in tech use, Medicae, logic, and becomes an adept, career focused in skills, on skills and single target damage. At the Lord Captain's request, the most significant episode in the candidate's biography that demonstrates his personal qualities and performance under pressure has been highlighted. Based on the collected data, this is items received, a marksman rifle, and a las pistol. Did I just become a sniper? An uprising of the 8th city of the High World Castaprimus, an attack by pirate armada on the Pleasure World Lacura Cove. What was I doing on a Pleasure World? A major criminal incident involving void ships assigned to the Astra Militarum. Didn't I say I did something in the Astra Militarum in the first question? Let's do that. I fought off like 10, 15 void ships with my las pistol. While the details have been expunged from the archives, the fragments of information that remain make it possible to reconstruct an account of these events. Evidence indicates that one of the Astra Militarum regiments was using Imperial Navy vessels assigned to it in order to ship contraband cargo. The candidate was implicated in the disgraceful incident due to his serving in the Astra Militarum regiment in question. When the candidate learned what was happening in the upper echelons of the regiment's command, he personally and discreetly shot every officer implicated in the smuggling operation and left the criminal scheme to collapse in the aftermath. Contacted the High Command in the spaceport of origin and secured the conversion of the entire regiment to a penal legion. So we called the cops or we took care of it ourselves? I think I'm agreeing with Chad on this one. We handled it. We personally and discreetly shot every officer implicated. Notable qualities exhibited when acting in difficult or ambiguous circumstances. Strength of character. Initiative. Commitment to the struggle against the enemies of the Imperium, including internal enemies. The qualities exhibited are deemed to be valuable and desirable in a potential successor to the Lord Captain. The candidate's profile has been deemed worthy of submission to the most gracious Lord Captain for further appraisal. With regard to the requisition of the candidate from his current position to serve the needs of the illustrious von Valancius dynasty, the final decision rests with the most gracious Lord Captain. End of dossier. I said it. Close. Sector Coronis Expanse, region Cineris Maleficum, location Telikos Epsilon, material report recorded by Vigdis Suri Ota Talaman Voxmaster Octavius. That's a mouthful. Several weeks have passed since the day Theodora von Valancius perished. On that ill-fated date, the rogue trader's void ship, rogue trader, a unique hereditary imperial servant assigned to the mission of exploring and exploiting the still uncharted regions of the galaxy for humankind, was attacked by madmen hungry to capture the dynasty's prized possession, the Warrant of Trade, which is a sacred Imperium relic that certifies the outstanding rights of the rogue trader across the galaxy. Fortunately for the thousands of lives who depend on the protection of their master, Lady Theodora's heir and the now ruling son Valancius, Lord Rogue Trader, fought off the villains and protected the dynasty's sacred relic. In his efforts to carry out Lady Theodora's last assignments, Rogue Trader came up with against a monstrous plot. which ultimately led to the death of the imperial world Raikad Minoris. The whole world. By the God Emperor's will alone did the rogue trader escape with his life. When Raikad's star mysteriously vanished, leaving cold darkness in its wake, one last desperate push and the Empyrean's mantle hid the fleeing souls from the pursuing enemy. However, testing trials still lie ahead. After several weeks in the warp, the rogue trader found himself on the fringes of his trade empire amidst several worlds now lost in the cold void at the whim of the roiling warp. The Lord Captain must forge new routes to planets conquered in the past and fulfill one of the covenants of the Warrant of Trade to restore that which has been lost. Ah, there we go, our first look. Vigdis Surai Ota. Lord Captain, allow me to report our journey through the warp is coming to an end. Lady Navigator Orselio informs me that we have reached the point where we can translate in real space in the Furibundus system. The Lady Navigator and her pilots are awaiting your permission to begin the process. The Furibundus system is home to Footfall, the only Imperium outpost with a functioning wharf in the Coronis Expanse. Hang on just a second here. Let's maybe... Oh man, it's weird having me up here. This is so odd. Okay. I guess I'll just leave it then. I guess I'll just do that. All right. The only Imperium outpost of the functioning wharf in the Coronis Expanse, the tech priests are begging you to have mercy on the machines worn down by the warp and to allow the servants of the Omnissiah to heal the void ship's wounds in the dock. The prayers and rituals will take a few days, which our astropathic choir will use to establish a connection with the prime worlds of your trade empire, Dargonis, Janus, and Kiavagama. We have already received a message that was previously adrift in the Immaterium. Master Zachary Wise has reported receiving an invitation. The Liege of Footfall, humbly requests an audience with the rogue trader of the Sun Valancia's dynasty. According to Master Zachary, the message was tinted with shades of pleading. I quote, apparently the Liege is anxious to meet as soon as possible. Footfall, the place where sin and sanctity go hand in hand. Reverend Hieronymus Doloroso, oh my god, these names, Doloroso will most likely expect a visit from me. I imagine he'll be interested in talking to you as well, rogue trader. Heinrich says, I will be leaving your void ship when we arrive on Footfall, rogue trader. Once that is done, consider the Lord Inquisitor's task complete. Before I leave you, rogue trader, Heinrichs produces a small device wrapped in velvet. I was supposed to deliver this to Lady Theodora, but considering the circumstances, I'm giving it to you. This is an elucidator, a sacred machine that can translate the languages of distant and lost worlds to Imperial Gothic. It is even capable of handling Xenos languages up to a point. There may be flaws in translation, but the overall meaning should be clear. Oh my god, there's 8 options. Are you leaving us, Heinrichs? The arrangement between the Lord Inquisitor and your predecessor was that I be transported to Footfall and no further. I dare not take advantage of your generosity and patience any more than I already have, rogue trader. Argenta, who is this Reverend Hieronymus who wants to talk to me? He is the head of the Drusian mission on Footfall and one of the most prominent clergymen in the sector. Paying him a visit is a good thing for any loyal servant of the Emperor to do. Argenta lowers her eyelashes. I assisted his mission before I joined Lady Theodora on her voyage. I need his blessing to accompany the new rogue trader of the Von Valancius dynasty. If you wish to have me aboard your void ship, I request that we meet with Reverend Hieronymus. I don't know. Okay, so I'm constantly learning more about Warhammer lore. Seeing a lady in armor with a gun with white hair immediately makes me think of the phrase Sister of Battle. I don't know if she is a Sister of Battle, but that's just a thought in my head right now. Vigdis, tell me about the system we're arriving in. Vigdis, sorry, so let's see. Where is this person? I guess they're not in this group. They must... Oh wait, no, is it this person? Furibundus is valuable due to its close proximity to the Maw, the gateway to the Imperium. The system is mostly known for Footfall, the main base for merchants, privateers, and rogue traders traversing the Coronis Expanse. Additionally, the star itself is orbited by an Adeptus Mechanicus station, which is off-limits to outsiders. Altair Templum Calaxis EXT-17, what? I had the honor of tending to this shrine for a few thousand cycles. I suggest you abstain from visiting it, as most tech brothers at the station are engaged in meditative calculations that should not be interrupted. What do I need to know about Footfall? It is the largest port and the trading capital of the Coronis Expanse. It has a dockyard that will allow us to inspect and repair the Void Ship, and it boasts its own astropathic choir, the Coronis Expanse Communications Nexus. The little bit I know about astropathic choir is they somehow allow them to communicate over very long distances. Not to mention pirate hideouts, smuggler caches, and forts belonging to a dozen gangs, groups, and factions. In the Coronis Expanse, the Imperium relies on this as an outpost. The fringes of humanity's domain rarely resemble its central worlds, but so long as Footfall serves the God Emperor insofar as it can, it will be considered a citadel of the Imperium, although I have heard that the tithes it sends are underwhelming to say the least. Due to Footfall's remoteness, it has developed its own rules and customs. Many of the goods that can be procured there would be considered heresy in the heart of the Imperium, enough to warrant summary execution. Moreover, Footfall is the domain of the rogue traders who disregard certain Imperial laws by virtue of the warrant they bear. Okay, so Footfall is just a brief stop. What's next? As soon as we solve the issues plaguing the ship and establish contact with the key worlds of your trade empire, the time will come for your Magnae Accessio, the official ceremony of donning the mantle of the rogue trader. It is mostly a formality at this point. You already possessed all the privileges granted by the warrant, and yet it is a major milestone in your personal history the moment your name graces the list of heads of the Von Valancius dynasty. We are all looking forward to that day, Lord Captain. And Abelard, do you know anything about the Liege of Footfall? Vladame Takara is a very peculiar young man. Consider your upcoming conversation a baptism of fire in Footfall's political arena. Such things are not spoken out loud, but Liege Takara is the appointee of the Kazbalika Mission, the largest robber baron crime syndicate in the Calaxis sector. They specialize in the cold trade, the buying and selling of all kinds of Xenos rubbish. Footfall was previously run by a liege who did business with several criminal factions at once, but he suffered an accident. The reins of power were picked up by Vladame Takara, whose appointment benefits not only the Kazbalika, but also their most powerful ally in the Coronis Expanse, the rogue trader Caligos Winterscale. Vladame is a slippery yet very cautious fellow. He does not usually beat around the bush and does not play mind games. Perhaps more importantly, he is no fool. Fools do not rise this high in the Kazbalikan hierarchy. Keep all this in mind. You are a rogue trader. You stand above him in status and wield considerable power. Having said that, history has seen cases where the Kazbalikan barons cross swords with rogue traders and emerge victorious. Do not forget that and remain vigilant. Pascal, the Kazbalika, vile tech thieves. His vox barks out the last word like a profanity. Why does the liege want to see me so badly? Not you personally. He wishes to meet with a rogue trader of the Von Valancius dynasty. Takara does not know about Lady Theodora's death and is simply seeking an audience with the powers that be. My gut is telling me that something must be very wrong on Footfall if our astropath managed to read such strong emotion in such an anodyne message. We have no information, Lord Captain. The broadcast from the Footfall Astropathic Choir was the only missive Master Zachary has received lately. Whew. Tell the Lord Navigator I give her leave to make the transition from warp to real space. Vigdis begins issuing instructions. The massive ship appears to change with her every word. The bridge is set in motion as hundreds of people start to prepare for the shift to real space, and measured chanting fills the corridors to safeguard the vessel and its crew. This is the new Alcat game? Yes, it is. Vigdis turns to you again. One more thing, Lord Captain. No one at the station knows about Lady Theodora's demise and you inheriting the title. Liege Takara will be informed. It is required so that we can use the dock. And besides, he is expecting a personal audience with the rogue trader, and he will not meet with an unknown person of unclear standing. However, there is still the matter of announcing your arrival. You can either arrive on the station with a proper pomp and ceremony, or choose to visit it incognito. How will these choices benefit me? According to Footfall's unwritten laws, rogue traders enjoy special privileges that exceed even the power of the Liege. However, not everybody chooses to take advantage of them, depending on the situation. Arriving incognito will give you more room for maneuver, while an official visit will allow you to directly intervene in local affairs. I shall explain if you do not mind. According to the unwritten rule, every rogue trader arriving at the station has the right to veto any of the Liege's decisions. But there is a catch. The Coronis Expanse is home to several influential rogue trader dynasties, and Footfall is where their interests intersect. Of course, that does not prevent certain persons, namely Caligos Winterscale, from subtly pulling the strings in Footfall. If you, as a new rogue trader, start your career with an official landing and a parade in your honor, the other dynasties may see this gesture as the newcomer challenging their spheres of influence. I do not see that as a bad thing, necessarily. Old Man Winterscale may take slight offense, Corda will put on her guard, but you have just risen to prominence, and most people in the Coronis Expanse have not even heard about Lady Theodore's departure yet. It must be made clear that the banner of Von Valancia soars as high as ever. If I may, I would recommend arriving incognito. You will have plenty of opportunities to savor the sweetness and the burden of power, but right now is the last time you can take refuge in obscurity. That way your arrival will not draw much attention, and the people will treat you as a person and not the almighty sovereign anointed by the Emperor. It could turn some situations to your advantage. I'm gonna say let's see. My guy's history. I'm thinking about my guy's background. In my guy's background, he was kind of beneath notice, and he handled a problem by basically sniping a whole bunch of people. It just dealt with it himself. So I feel like it would be within my character to go incognito, so I'll go with that. It will be done, Lord Captain. Vigdis bows again. With your gracious permission, I will return to my duties. Use the system map in the center of the bridge to issue orders to the crew. All right. WASD moves the camera. Left click or right click moves the character around. Let's try I for inventory. Yes, indeed. There's our person. Oh my god. Weapon skill, ballistic skill, strength, toughness, agility, intelligence, perception, willpower, fellowship. Lore on Xenos, Warp Imperium, tech use, commerce, coercion, Medicaid, logic, demolition, persuasion, carouse, awareness, and athletics. Oh, so these are our items. Okay, so we've got some armor. We've got a marksman rifle and a las pistol. These are different filters for the inventory. We've got a crack grenade, a frag grenade. Crack grenades, I saw for the only other time I've seen them was in Chaos Gate Daemon Hunters, and they were mainly used to shred targets' armor. Oh, hey, look at this. Oh my gosh. This looks like the dudes from Mechanicus, and it should, because they're tech priests. So there's Pascal. There's Cassia, who has looks like a doot drone flying behind her. There's Argenta. Oh, they've all got the doot drone. Idira. Heinrichs. Is that a force blade? Is he a psyker? Force sword. It is a force sword. Okay. Let's see. Willpower. Demonstrates the character's ability to withstand the horrors of war, the terrors of space, and the dreadful opponents they are bound to encounter in their missions. High willpower allows a character to exert control over a crowd of near-rioting hab workers or interrogate a captured heretic. It is often used when wielding or resisting psychic powers. Okay. Intelligence measures a character's acumen, reason, and general knowledge. A character with strong intelligence value can recall huge volumes of data, correlate esoteric clues, or determine if an ancient archaeotech relic is genuine or not. I think these are... What is this? Looks like necklace, maybe wrist, ring, gloves, cape, boots. Slider for the inventory. Profit factor. A representation of the relative value of the rogue trader's warrant of trade and what opportunities and resources it can call upon. Okay, interesting. Lot to take in here. So let's see. They said to go to the console. Did they mean this thing? Cassia. Or maybe this guy? Coronis Expanse map. Double click on a character's portrait to center the camera on a corresponding character. Game autosaved. Oh. I guess we're the little ship. Okay. Doc Alpha Row. Oh, I thought this was a loading screen. Okay, so we actually click on this. All right. So, yeah, I guess just take the whole group. Oh wow, that giant statue thing floating in space we saw on the map is actually floating in space. It looks like reskin Pathfinder Kingmaker. I mean, I'm sure they used the same or a similar engine. It's made by the same company. Your lordship, forgive me for not welcoming you with the appropriate obeisance. We were told that you would prefer to arrive on Footfall incognito, so we are trying to attract as little attention as possible. I'm here on the behalf of the Liege of Footfall, Lord Vladame Tokara. The Liege awaits the chance to speak with you at his residence, but if you happen to have other business to attend to, I can serve as your guide and tell you about the station. Cassia's lip curls slightly. This is so familiar. Behind the amber-colored scattering of words of welcome, far less appealing cues lurk, murky and diluted. The look of someone accustomed to lying and hiding their intentions. I wonder if she's a psyker. Continue. Idira jerks her head, shakes it, and hisses through her teeth. Someone's coming, and they're coming for us. Watch out, Lord Captain. Abelard sighs and casually places his hand on his weapon. Address Adira. Who's coming? Judging by the voices, there's a lot of them. Angry. They've got teeth, but they aren't that sharp. Their strength is numbers. Pray, what do you... Liege representative, pray, what are you talking about? What could you mean by such a cryptic pronoun... She doesn't get to say the rest. Oh, boy. Hey, newcomer, how's this for a warm welcome? Welcome to Footfall, suckers. Did they just miss every shot?
Bow before me. Crush them. That was insulting.
Oh my god. Okay, the tech priest gets to go first. I'm assuming the lines mean he has line of sight to shoot those people. Holy crap, we've got a lot of buttons. Just a minute. Cost 3 AP. Where's his AP? I think it's the yellow bar. Okay, I think the yellow bar is AP. And this is... Okay, so it looks like each of the skills, there's like a little yellow marker on how much AP it takes. He has so many skills at level 1. For one turn, all allies gain half the benefits of Adeptus Study Enemies to Study Defense. Study Enemies takes 3 AP, this takes 2. I can't do both of those. Precision Strike, second weapon. Make a single shot or melee attack against the studied enemy. You don't start level 1 for the alpha? Clearly! You can use this once per combat to restore the wounds of an ally. Plasma overcharge attack overheats plasma weapon for 2 turns. So if I move, does that use up my... action points?